Hello, my name is Resilan Bearcat, and this is my first playthrough for the Rise of the Darkfog expansion for Dyson Sphere Program. This is the Albalda playthrough series. Hope you enjoy the gameplay. Okay, we are back in Dyson Sphere. Now, in the last episode, we were kind of getting started with some blueprints. We actually were doing some things. Now, I have worked on some blueprints of these off camera and actually did a tutorial on how to do blueprints. So I've got quite a few blueprints that we're going to do here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking all these things down and putting down my new blueprints down in here for the things that we need to produce. And we'll put all these things in here. We'll take all that out in a minute. We're going to take these out. This stuff was proliferated, and we're not going to proliferate anything at this stage, not on this particular thing. And by the way, the amount of production of this was more than I'm going to want, more than I can afford to do, even in some cases. So we're going to scale it back and do some different things. And then what we'll do is let's just go ahead. I don't think I have anything in here. I had them set up, but nothing in them. Yep, okay, that is correct. So we'll take these out because they're part of the blueprints. There we go. All right, and we are going to be putting down blueprints right here within what we're going to do. So starting out with, as we scale up our production, one of the things we need, what we want is, let's look at my blueprints. The goal for this episode is to produce this blueprint right here. 733 things, but we need 14 iron, 7 gears, 13 magnetic coils, 3 magnets, and 1 energized graphite. So those are the things that we need in order to build this particular blueprint. And this blueprint is a starter blueprint until I'm ready to build these other blueprints, motors, turbines. I just don't have the power right now to be able to do that, and I need rings to make the items that I want. If we come over here and we look at these rings, one of the items that I can make here is geothermal power stations, and then we can go dot the planet with geothermal power stations. So let's get started. Step 1, right on the equator. Let's see, which one is the equator? This has a curve to it, so that's not it. It's easy to tell which one's the equator when you do this, because once you're over the top of it, it's straight. There's no curve. All right, there we go. That is the equator. And this one comes down here. This is the other side of the equator. You see how when you're on it, there's a curve to it? That means you're not on the equator. Isn't that kind of neat? I thought it was. All right, quick way to tell where I'm at. So step 1, we want my mid-game blueprint. We want iron. And I'm going to use the iron 24. I've got a 24 and a 48. I'm going to use the 24. For what I'm going to place down. We're going to come right here and we're going to go up to the 3rd spot and drop this in right there. That's going to be my iron. Now that is a little bit more iron than I need, but honestly, you just need a ton of iron. And why is it colliding with an object? What is it colliding with? What could it possibly be colliding with? There's something right there. It's a belt. I missed the belt. Okay. Interesting. Let's get over here closer to the equator. I think I'm on the equator. Let's do this. And it's hard to see anything out there. Back to my blueprint now. Back to this. Iron, we want to do a simple iron, and we want this on the 3rd up and 3rd out. This gives me enough room to build the full blueprint that I want. All right, this is going to be iron, and we won't be feeding them yet, but this will be coming in and producing the item here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let this fill up with this, and we're going to let both of these fill totally up. Now this right here is going to be local supply. We'll do remote supply, local supply, remote supply. We'll let that be both of those. That's fine. And let's see here what we want to do. I'm just going to drop those things in there. And then let's see what we're going to do for, let's grab 25 drones, put those here, and put those there. And then minimum load of vessels, let's make that 50%. We'll let it go to 50%. Minimum load of drones, 10%. Fine. So that is my first item, just for the sake of being able to build quicker. Let's come over here and drop this down. I'll make things go faster. There we go. So that's my iron that I need. That is one of the things, that is one of the first things I needed. Now we also need copper. So let's go do the copper as well, and we'll do the same amount of copper, although I don't know that I really need that much copper. And then some of the other things we'll start scaling back. Now this one we want to go up. Let's see, this should be in the middle. If I was to come here, that's the next one. That would be one right there. I'm trying to figure out where the other item is. We want to come to right here and place this down right here. We'll let this go in here. And while that's building, go ahead and put this in here. Once again, we're going to let this fill up. We'll do 25 drones and 10 on those. And once again, we'll do 50 on this, 10% on drones, 50 on vessels. Same thing. Okay. So that's all of my copper. I'll need to feed it with copper and other things, but that's would be what's coming in and out. Okay. Now that those two things are in here, the next thing that I need to do is magnets. And magnets is one of the items that I'm going to need, and I'm going to reduce the number of magnets that I produce, probably. So we'll start out with a 24 per second on the magnets as well. I'm not going to have enough iron to feed all of this, so that'll be a factor. This will be where this goes right here, and that'll be my magnets. All of this, and you can see all of the stuff coming in here. And what we'll do is on the magnets, that is so many magnets, and I'm going to need a bunch of magnets because I'm going to be producing RTS units. I don't know that I need 24 per second, and we'll come back. We do have a 48 per second blueprint we can drop down, but that seems to be a bit overkill. So we're going to put these items in here. As the drones are busy placing all of the belts and stuff, we'll snap that in ourselves. There we go. Now on the magnets, since I don't need a ton of magnets, why do I have that in there? That's an incorrect statement. I don't need that, and I don't need to build 10,000 magnets. So we're only going to do 2,000 on the magnets. We will do the same thing on the 50%. And we're going to throw over half of the needed magnets in there to start with. So that'll produce magnets when we need them. I'm not going to bring in tons of ore here. We will bring in 2,000 ore. Actually, I believe the magnet blueprint, let's see, 1 per 1. So if I want, yep, 2,000, 2,000, that will be fine. Now this is going to be local demand, and this is going to be remote storage. We're not going to provide iron out of this facility, and in fact, we're not going to provide copper out of this. That'll be local demand. Right now, this will be local demand. That'll be remote storage. We're not providing those two things. We are providing the other things into the supply, but these things we want, the ore we want to come locally. We'll do 10,000 there. let's see here. I think I'm going to limit this since I'm just doing storage here. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to limit that to 2,000. I'll let it fill up with this all you want to, but let's limit the incoming ore. That way, if I've got other ore going places, I can send it other places. So that is the first set of items that we're going to need. Now, the next set of items that I need, I'm going to use a different blueprint here. I want to scale up something, and there's a couple of different ways I could actually do this. In this mid game here, I've got a theme for gears, and I can put gears in here, and I could scale up building just gears, and gears is one of the things I need. But we also need a good bit of steel, and I am going to scale up the production of steel here as well. So rather than building gears and steel independently right now, I'm going to build this blueprint right here, which brings them in together as a single unit, and it requires a lot of iron. We'll probably scale this one back. Let's see, that's 12 per second ironing. This is 36 per second ironing. That's a lot. But for now, this is the blueprint I'm going to put down. Okay, so I can hit tab and switch the point that I'm actually anchored, my anchor point. It makes it easier to line this up. Now that is in the wrong place. We want that to go right there. Now this is going to snap in here, and let's grab one of these and bring it over here and just put it in right there. We'll build that in there. What do you mean you have no power? You're sitting right beside a power pole. There. Now, come on. There we go. That'll start building in a whole lot faster. Okay. All of this coming in here. Certainly, let's see what my power looks like. Power is going up quickly. And once this stuff starts running, it's really going to start going up. So we're going to have issues with power and have production for a while. Now that we've got this one in here, we need circuit boards and magnetic coils. Those are the next two blueprints that we need, and I think this is going to be in the way. Let's get that out of the way. Let's see. Put one there. One there. There we go. That'll make some of the build range. That'll help. Alright, now with that in place, let's do back to our mid-game blueprints that we have created. Now I'm going to do a blueprint for 12 circuit boards. And that's not the one I want. I've got a couple of these. I want this one. I want the 24 per second circuit boards, I guess. I've got 12 is probably what I want to produce, but I'll come back to that in a minute. Let's hit the, I don't like the anchor point. I want to change my anchor point and get down into this corner. It's easier for me to see what I'm doing here. This is what I want here, and we want it in line with that one. Let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. Not too far out. So the intersection of the green lines right there is what I want to get on the line, same line that the other towers are on. And that goes in there like that. And then I am short green belts. Well, I'm not. I've got plenty of green belts. I'm probably not gonna produce that many of those. We'll come back out of there and let that build in. Look at all the streaming drones there. They come flying in. And then we're gonna do the same thing with grabbing. We did circuit boards. Let's do magnetic coils. Yeah, this is my magnetic coil blueprint. And we'll get on the same line. Once again, we'll change my anchor point, make it easier to see what I'm doing. That's the line I want to be on. That right there is the line I want to be on. Snap that in right there. Whoops. Didn't mean to escape. All of my drones are coming back in here. Okay, now that is creating the magnetic coils. And it says that this is 24 per second, but yeah, and it probably is 24 per second. And I will need that many magnetic coils. I do not need this many circuit boards to start with, but we will see what we can do here. Now let's get the inputs and outputs sorted for these towers, and then let's go do some mining. Let's hook these things up and get our starting production produced. We don't have our other blueprint down yet, but that's okay. So this right here, I'm going to bring in, but let's see. So this is producing, this is simply bringing in iron to produce steel and the others. So let's say, let's build 2,000 of those, and then we'll fill these things up. This right here is local demand. This is remote storage. It shouldn't be shipping anything out. And with that, we need to deal with our drones. 25 drones. We will provide those. And then these, once again, it's 10 and 50. I think that's the way I'm setting everything up. Yes, it is. Okay. Very good. I didn't put any drones in here. I was concerned about that. All right, there we go. So there's my 25 drones. There's those. And then, all right, I've already got that set up. Very good. Now this right here, I am going to, let's go ahead and put this in here. This in here, drop that down to 50%. And then local demand, remote storage. Local demand, remote storage. And that is going to be supply. If we want as much as we can put in there of that. And then we will do 2,000 iron, 1,000 copper to produce that. All right. And then that right here, I need 3 of these to produce these. 1 to 1 there. So I honestly think we'll leave that at the 2,000. That's fine. Okay, that's all set. Now let's get this one set. We're going to set this at 2,000, that at 1,000. Local demand, remote storage. Local demand, remote storage. Those two are going out. Drop these in here. Drop that in there. There we go. Now that is, I've got all my storage set up. Now I don't know what my power situation looks like. Probably not good. Well, I'm okay. Don't know if all that was running that I'd be okay, but at idle I'm okay. Now we just need iron to feed in. So now we're going mining. Well, let's put one more blueprint down. We got these 2 blueprints here. I want to come here. I've got some space right here on this side, and I'm going to put down a blueprint that's probably temporary. In fact, I'm going to come up here. Let's see. No, I don't want to put it in right there. Let's see. Don't want to put that in there. Let's see about putting this in right down here. I think we got room right in here. Where's the other? Is there a meridian around here somewhere? Where's it at? It's right over here. I know I can't tell where it's at. And it's hard to tell which one. I can tell. Okay, that is there. Alright, well, it's not going to matter then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put it right here. And we'll come right in here. You can see the thicker line there, but sometimes they fool you, and I think they're thicker than they are, but they're not. We're going to put one in right in here, our last blueprint we're going to build for today. We're going to come back to the mid-game. We're going to take this engine's blueprint right here, and I'm going to come in here, and once again, we want to come over 3 up. So I want to be right here. Let me change my anchor point. There we go. That's easier for me to see. Now what I'm doing, this is 3. That is 3 right there. Foundation required. Where do I need a foundation at? What's not going to fill in? I've got something. Oh, I got 1 item right there. That'll be easy enough to fill in. Let's just force that in there. Okay. And I am missing some blue belts. Yes, that is true. I am missing some blue belts. Okay. That's, I'm just going to have to live with that. Now let's see. Let's take a foundation right here. Let's stick that in there. Collide with another object. Will that come in with the belts? We'll see if it does. Okay. Alright. As that fills in, let's do this right here. All of that's going in here. We've got... We're going to get rid of some of this. There we go. Alright, with all of that in place, let's see, all of this coming in here. Now these are going to be local supply, all of those are supplies. And what we're going to do, we're going to supply 10 of those and 25 of those. And in this case, because of the demand, we're going to do 10 and 10, 10%, 10%. That way, because we don't have a lot of them, we're going to let them come in there on those demands. That's good. It's feeding this direction. I should have turned it around. And in fact, I am going to do that. I don't like this. I just realized this is all backwards. The beauty of an erase button. Okay, let's do that blueprint again. Knowing which one of those is which, let's make sure, let's see if I can do this without, okay, I know which one is which. So what I want to do is rotate this around. I want it this way. Now I want to change my anchor point and do this anchor point. Okay, there we go. And then I want it on that line right there. There we go. That's the center line. And that line should be right there. Okay. And then we don't have enough of the belt here. Put this in here. So what I'll do is I'll just downgrade this belt right here. Don't want to downgrade the whole belt. Make that a green belt. By the time it gets down there, it'll have a whole bunch of items gone anyway. That'll be fine. Should be blue to get it all the way down there, but changing it to green that late in the belt, I'll still get what I need. Alright, we'll bring this in over here. Alright, now this right here is all demands. And in this case, oh, a nice split on that. It didn't work. There we go. We'll put that in there. Those in there, and we're doing 10 and 10 on those. Very good. Now this over here, all of this is going to be local demand remote storage. I'm literally not pulling this in from any other planet right now. And then because of that, I can drop drones in here, and I don't need any further drones. And then minimum load of drones, let's do 50%. Minimum load of vessels isn't going to matter because there are none. There we go. And that is going to be the item that comes in here. So this was the point of the blueprint right here. Building that right there is the whole point, because we need these super magnetic rings. We need this will produce 1 per second. Now we go around, now that we have that, we go around and everywhere we can find iron and copper, we start mining. We'll have to do a little bit of... Let's make sure that my... like that, okay. And then we'll put my mines around this thing and feed. We'll feed the system. All right, let's see. One. I'm not going to be so picky about trying to get 6 on every one of these. I'm just going to grab whatever I can get and stick this thing in here. I'm not going to put one in if I can't get before. Okay, without all of that in there, the whole point of this is to feed a tower here. Now, let's see. I've got a copper node right up here, so I'll feed copper. I'm going to put both of these into a single tower. Now, why is that thing sitting there? Interesting. That was probably due to some mining that I was doing at one point in time. There we go. Take that out. Now, let's do the same thing right here. I will probably need to take out this and this to give myself enough room. Let's just put the mines in first and then we'll hook everything up. Okay. As one of them goes to running the minute you stick it in there. Okay. Alright, let's get these belted over here and into a tower. This will be a local tower. We're not exporting anything here. It's going to be iron and copper. So we're going to put as many drones in this as we can, and we're going to tell it 100%. Don't want you going anywhere until you got a full load. Alright, and then we're just going to belt this up. Oh, I don't have enough belts. I'm going to have to go back to the other planet and get more belts. Let's see. I'm going to bring all of these over here. This belt. Bring this in here. This in here. This in here. Like that, right? And then we'll just hook them all up. There we go. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. We'll start with a belt about right here. And we'll come down through here. That in there, that in there. Let's see. That's going to collide. Right. And bring that in there. There we go. That can go in there. That can go in there. That can go in there. That's in there. And it may not be 100%. I mean, it may be backed up some, and it'll be okay. I'm feeding copper in. Now let's go ahead and grab a couple of power poles. Stick one over here, one over here. That should get all of that in there, and we are tanked up and ready to go. And then we'll put one in here and one in here. That'll get those running. And let's go ahead and get these belts running. Doing the same type of a thing. I'm going to I'll come from right here over to here, down to here, and into there. And then I'll do the same thing over here. Bringing that in, okay? And then let's just distribute these onto these belts. There's that. There's that. And I have iron and copper inbound. Now that's not enough iron and copper, but it is some. And I am running very, very low on the green belt. I'm gonna have to make a trip back. But look at that. I have drones running back and forth. And then let's, they don't have a way to power up here. And they do need a way to power up. So let's put that in there. And let's see what that did to our production consumption. We're still okay. We need more iron and more copper. But I also need more belts. So I think what we'll do is, you've kind of got the idea here. I'm gonna go get some more belts and hook up some more of these mines, and then we'll be back. Okay, we're back, and we're going to take a look here at what we're doing. Now we've got this blueprint down, we've got this blueprint down over here, and we have a few items, you know, queued up to make. It's not making any of them yet, but you can see we are importing gears, we are importing magnets. What we're short on right now is iron ingots. Not really a huge surprise given how much iron we need. So what we're going to do is something this is why I designed the blueprints the way I did. I actually designed these blueprints so that they can be expanded, and if I need more of this stuff, I can get more of them. I've got plenty of iron coming in here, although I could probably use more just to get this running. Let's go ahead and ask up to 5,000. You can tell we're running a lot of it, and I'm seeing gaps occasionally in here in the line, which means that, you know, it may not be running as efficiently as it could, but I need lots of iron, and we've got a lot of iron in the network, and we can go ask for more even. But you can see we're not building up any supply of iron ingots. So what we're going to do right here, we will go ahead and grab our mid-game blueprints. We're going to grab the 48 per second iron blueprint, and we're going to come right here. There, we're going to snap that down and just smash it in there, and you'll notice that it fills in a whole bunch more items. Let's grab a whole bunch of these items out of here. Let's see, what else do I need here? Looks like I need some more belts. And what else did I need? I need some sorters. Okay, there we go. It'll build all those items in here now. Could still use one of these items down here. Let's just put that in here. So it'll build. We'll come down here and stand over here close to this, so that it'll build down here, and then we'll just work our way down to the other end. Filling things in here. There we go. We've got this filled in. Now this is going to put more demand for iron in here, which is going to make, you know, possibly mean we need to go get more iron and harvest more iron, but that's okay. We will take raw iron out and process that in. We will take raw iron out and process iron ingots in, and we should see everything start running here, provided I have enough iron, and I've got a whole bunch of it here. So that was the point of building the blueprint the way I did. I've got two versions of it. It wasn't sure that I needed all of that, and I say I don't need that much copper, but I did need that much of that. And then the magnets are, yeah, I haven't built up any supply of magnets either. I may have to do the same thing with the magnets. If I do the magnets, I know I'm going to need more of the iron to import. I'm seeing pretty big gaps in my iron ore already. It's kind of interesting that I'm seeing gaps in my iron ore here. Yeah, I'm not seeing iron gaps here coming out, so I've got plenty of supply coming in. I'm seeing gaps because they're pulling it off the line. Very good. So that's where we're going to stop it at. We've got this coming in here. This is being fed. Look at that. We are getting everything we need except for this. And I've got this set up here. We are going to remote demand this, and we are only going to pull in 1,000 of it. The rest of this stuff will fill in. And in fact, because I'm building some of this stuff and this is just remote storage, let's only grab 1,000 of each of this. I don't need, and I'll figure out the ratios later if I need less of that, but for now let's just set it to 1,000 each of each one of those items. minimum load of vessels we'll set to 50% since they're coming in. That is remote demand, local demand. There is no local demand, so I'll put that to local storage. I'm not building energized graphite on this planet, so that has to come from another place. And I don't believe I have any drones in here, so we're going to put some drones in there to fill that in. Because since I am pulling something from another planet, there we go. We have energized graphite. We have a little bit of iron coming in, so while this is not by any means efficient right now, it is building a few items. I do have some green. I don't have any of these. None of them are making it through yet. They're all being siphoned off of the belt. This will eventually fill up with all of these, and they should be coming down through here in just a minute. Oh, I do have some super magnetic greens. Look at there. There's a few. I don't have many, but boy, it is starting to run in there. And the engines will be coming in there pretty soon too. Right now, I'm just a little bit short on something coming into this that needs, oh, I see what that, whatever is on that belt right there, which is iron ingots. We still need more iron ingots. Eventually, everything will fill up and it'll settle down. We'll be back. That is all for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment to let me know what you think. Please subscribe to the channel to be notified when new content is available, and check out the link shown here for more gameplay. Take care.